And,
Good morning.
It's Susie C. along with our guest this morning, who is Lou Santoyo, who's running for Kane County Sheriff, and he's come over to the studio to join us here this morning to talk about why and stuff like that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, it's great to have you. You want to just introduce yourself to some of the people? Because I'll be honest, I when I saw your name the other day with the article in the Daily Herald about you declaring your candidacy, I didn't know who you were. So maybe a lot of people are like that. So maybe you should introduce yourself and just kind of let us know who Santoyo is a little bit.
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say good morning to everyone out there listening. My name is Lou Santoyo, and I am running for Kane County Sheriff. I've been in Kane County approximately 14 years, thanks to my wife. Hello, Rhiannon, if you're listening. So I come from a 28-year career in law enforcement. I started my career at the Cook County Department of Corrections for about a year and a half, close to 2. I was promoted to the police department. I did the patrol operations at the police department. And a couple of years later, I was selected, actually, for a promotion to detective. I started my detective career somewhere around 1999. It started in 95. It all started, and it all snowballed from there. I actually never really wanted to be a police officer. My mom wanted me to be a priest.
Yeah,
and and I do have a big degree of faith, but sorry, Mom, but that wasn't going to happen. So it was an opportunity. I was getting married at the time, and I needed a job, and someone stepped into my life, like many other times in my life, and hey, why don't you try this out? This might be a good job with benefits and things like that,
Yeah.
and it became a career that I just incredibly fell in love with. I worked most of my career. I did work as a detective, and I worked, we can talk about cases all day long. I worked major crimes. And a lot of it was child exploitation and things of that nature. But yes, I did 25 years. I retired, and then I was, toward the end, I was part-time in Elburn as a police officer there.
okay.
And I loved it. Waving, saying hi.
I would say going from Cook County, 26 in California, out to Elburn. Talk about culture shock.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we were saying before, we started, it's a little bubble. It's a peaceful, beautiful little town. And I happen to be a village trustee there.
Oh, okay.
For the last 2 years. And I always thought or believed that I wanted to do something really, really, really great for myself and much greater than myself. And this is it right here. And this is more personal than political, if you will. So that's pretty much in a nutshell where I come from professionally, that is.
Yeah. That's interesting what you just said. You wanted to be something better than yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that mean exactly? That means you really know you need to step up your game to the next level beyond
Yes.
and take it to because it's a huge role with huge responsibilities. And
Yes.
is that kind of what you mean by that?
Yes, that is exactly what I mean. I want to contribute to social change in the best way that I can. And what triggered this was in 22, I got COVID and I was hospitalized. I was in the hospital for like a week with pneumonia, and I'm in good shape. I'm a cyclist. And I was shocked that I got this sick. And I thought I was going to die. One night I'm laying in the hospital on my stomach. 3 things went through my mind. Number 1, am I ready to meet my maker? I'm a man of faith, and that was huge for me. Number 2, is there anyone out there that I wronged that I need to make things right? And people's faces just started coming to my mind. Just a few people that I thought maybe I need to reach out and say, hey, you know what? If there's something that I did or said in our lifetime, I want to make things right. I want to say I'm sorry, whatever. The third thing, what am I leaving behind? How are my children going to remember me? Was I a good father or did I fall short? And that really got me. Like, what am I leaving behind?
Right.
So one morning I woke up to this sunshine just right on my face, and I sat up and I'm like, my gosh, the fever broke. I'm going to make it, you know?
Yeah.
So I did. All these pieces of my life are like a big puzzle that have led me to this moment. And what do I want to do? I want to bring my part. I want to do my part in some great social change. And what I know is law enforcement. That's when I retired, I thought to myself, I've done 50% of my life here. This is like my second home, and maybe even more, because there's times when we slept in the office working cases. So that's pretty much, in again, another nutshell, what this means to me.
Yeah. How do you see yourself bringing social change as a sheriff?
Yeah. I think the sheriff is a very powerful office, and we've yet to tap into that power. I want to leverage the power of the uniform and the badge to address issues more directly. Number one, such as mental health, elderly. We forget about our old folks.
Yeah, we do.
You know that financial exploitation of the elderly right now is running rampant.
Yeah.
Isn't
that awful?
And it's an easy crime to ignore because it's not making headlines. You know, these are the people that suffer in silence, the people who are mentally ill. That's something we can address head on and make powerful social changes. I wanted to be a teacher when I was a detective. Why? Because when I worked 5 years, I specifically worked crimes against children, and I saw the most hideous types of crimes that you can imagine. I'm scarred, okay? I can't unsee
only imagine
what I've seen. Yeah. But here's the thing. Feeling powerless is getting to a scene and not being able to do anything about it except try to bring justice. It's too late. The child was victimized. The kid became a criminal already. So I was like, you know what? I want to be on the other side. Well, what's the other side? Maybe if I get, educated and become a teacher, which is what I did. And when I retired, I became a teacher. And I saw firsthand. Actually, my first teaching job was right here, U46 in Elgin.
Really?
Awesome
What did you
experience. They brought me in as a bilingual teacher, and I ended up with a special education group. And I was in over my head, but I learned so much. I learned about IEPs, and I learned about learning plans and things. And then I noticed, this is an observation, okay? I noticed a very strong correlation between children with learning disabilities and IEPs and their propensity to fall victims to crime. So what is a social change platform that I want to use right now? It is partnering up with the educational system. We can do much better. Kids love the police. Let's leverage that, but leverage it with a real approach that is going to address or build or make that bridge between the kids who are vulnerable to gang life or street life, and maybe reel them in with programs. And I have a plan. So those are just a couple of the social change aspects that I'm looking at.
No, those are great points. Absolutely.
As far as seniors being exploited, a lot of that is through scams, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
isn't that, scams, it's almost, there are some scams that are fixable because you see the people that are actually involved in trying to scam the seniors. But there's so many other scams with text messaging and different things where it's like imaginary people out there that are, who knows where they are? They're outside of our country, wherever these stuff is all coming in from.
Absolutely.
But as a sheriff, these are crimes that are really hard to put your finger on. Going about solving these types of things, right?
Yes. These are very difficult to solve, especially, yes, you're right. A lot of them come from overseas.
Yeah.
But we can't solve everything, but we can educate people. We can create more communication with our elderly to educate them, to talk to them and put them at ease. They're vulnerable. You know, when you reach a certain age, you kind of revert to childish ways in a way.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you met my mom?
yeah. Have you met my dad? You know, it's like, you know,
You come full circle as a person, don't you?
that's right. And you know what? That's just being human.
Yeah.
So those vulnerabilities is something that I really, really want to address.
Yeah. We're with Lou Santoyo. He's running for Kane County Sheriff. If you have any questions, I'm keeping an eye on the YouTube feed. WRMN Radio on YouTube. I have the Image 360 information line that I can take a look at 505-926-1410. And if you have a question, you're welcome to give us a call at 847-931-1410. What kind of questions do you ask someone who's running for sheriff? Lou is here to join us right now. So in the next year, I guess just like me, I've been on this radio station for like 8 years now, and I've gotten to know a lot of the people that are in leadership here in the area.
Yeah.
But when I saw your name the other day, it was the first time I had seen your name.
Sure.
So I guess one of the things that you have to do in the next year is really let people know who you are and become kind of a household name so that people feel confident in voting for you, right?
Absolutely. That's the challenge I have ahead of me, and I realize that, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So what do you plan on doing? Just being as involved as possible, getting as many places as you can, introducing yourself, and
Yes.
things of that nature?
I have a great campaign team. I have a lot of people pointing me in the right direction. And this year I'm going to be like white on rice. I am going to be everywhere.
He's going to be everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe like ketchup everywhere, but on hot dogs.
Yeah, you're from Chicago, aren't you? Yeah. Okay.
I still put ketchup on my hot dog.
Oh, don't
tell
say that.
anybody.
I mean,
Don't
please.
tell anybody.
No, but yes, that's what I plan to do. Every opportunity that I have to, and I do have a lot of. I come from a big church world back in the Latino community. Was very involved with church years ago, and I do have some contacts here that I'm going to really, tap into, and again get in front of as many groups and people as I can, and that's the goal.
Well, as you look at Kane County, which you live in, I guess, living in Elburn, and being a trustee there, you see the different crimes in Kane County, and you see the different challenges that the current sheriff's had to face over the last several years, and what do you see as being some of the biggest issues that Kane County is facing right now that you can have an impact with? I mean, you mentioned the seniors and you mentioned the youth, and maybe trying to get in front of some of the problems instead of being reactive to these problems.
Sure.
But where does Kane County stand right now? What are the biggest problems that you see that need to be attacked?
Yeah, I think that we need to really address the drugs that are flowing around here. Surprisingly. Well, I come from Cook County, so when I compare, it's a huge difference. But like
Right.
at the schools, the amount of kids that are using drugs, I think that that's a huge problem here in Kane County. And again, I am looking to stay in my lane as far as being the sheriff, because the focus of the sheriff when it comes to operations on the street is really the unincorporated areas of Kane County, which is where our focal point is going to be as far as street operations. And the sheriff is the support system for the other towns and villages. For example, in Cook County, we were, if there was a police department that didn't have an investigation section, well, we did their investigations for them. And that's the role of the sheriff amongst many. So that is something that I'm really going to be doing more, looking more at the crime statistics in our unincorporated areas and addressing that. We do have traffic problems here like everywhere else. We're going to really address that and really look into immersion with our communities. Our biggest weapon against crime is called cooperation. Okay, we are not good. I don't care how good of a policeman you are. If the community or the people you serve don't want to talk to you, you're going to have a hard time solving crimes. So that is going to be a big focal point as well.
Community engagement,
Yes,
and,
sir.
Building relationships and things like that.
When I say engagement, like Sir Robert Peel, the father of policing, said the people are the police are the people. Well, are the people really the police? Do people really feel like they are the police right now? Well, That's part of that social change we're talking about. We want to empower
can record
people.
everything on here. People don't stop anybody, but they'll stop to take a video.
Sure. And we want to find a way to really get them to also sit at the table with us and get these conversations going more in depth and get to know the people a little bit more. You know what I mean? So it's very important.
Lou Santoyo is here with us, and he's one of the candidates for Kane County Sheriff. It's going to be an interesting race in about a year. And we already know another candidate. She's Amy Johnson. She's been in the Kane County Sheriff's Department for a number of years now, working under Ron Hain. She's running on the Democratic side. I expect there's going to be at least another candidate jumping into the fray as well in the next year or so. So it seems like for a sheriff's office, I'm a trustee right now for the Elgin Township, and it doesn't seem like it should even be a political position. It doesn't seem like sheriff should be a political position, but you're running on the Republican side. So
yes, sir.
Is there a reason? I mean, is there what separates you from what makes you a Republican, and does that matter in the sheriff's race?
I will answer the second question first.
Okay.
I don't think it matters, and it shouldn't matter. My undergraduate studies were in psychology and government. And there's something that really, really drew my attention, and it was George Washington's farewell address. He warned us about two things. I'll talk about the one thing that applies to us right now. Be careful not to be too loyal to a party that you lose the loyalty to your country. And I think that when we look at what's going on in our country right now, it's sad. Because the loyalty to the party has gotten to the point where we are hating each other.
Yes.
Regardless of which side you are on. Okay, so this should be a nonpartisan office because we are not legislators. We don't make the laws. We enforce those laws, and we are limited as to what we can how we can influence the laws except going to our legislators. So yes, you are right. And what makes me more of a Republican, I'll tell you, I grew up in a Democratic home. My father was a blue-collar Democrat. And I've seen how the party has evolved, both parties. When I was a kid, they used to say, oh, Republicans are just rich people, rich white people, Yeah. And that was like an image back. And the Democratic Party's for the working people. I'm not going to get into a political discussion or a debate, but personally, I lean on a conservative side as a person. But you know what? If you are the opposite of me, I'm going to treat you with that same respect that you deserve, because we all deserve to have our own beliefs, views, and opinions about our country and our community. I can't control my country, what's going on right now, but I can have an impact on what's happening in my neighborhood and in my county, and that's what I intend to do.
Very well said. 8:52 here at WRMN. We have one phone call, and hopefully it's a question for the sheriff's candidate here, Lou Santoyo, at 847-931-1410. So let's take this caller, and let's please make it about that. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, James.
A great guest. You have a great guest there, and you have a great subject.
Thanks, man.
So first of all, I would like to wish the candidate very successful campaign. His background is my background. I had 38 years in that business in Cook County, but in Chicago mainly. So I understand the issues that he has dealt with in his time on the job. And when it comes to some of your responses and your questions are really critical when it comes to this discussion on sheriff's departments, which I had some experience later on in my career, where you run under a political party. And it's unfortunate sometimes that the political party can exert influence that's counterproductive to the goals of the office. And listening to the candidate here, I think he's got a good grasp of that. And I think that he would do well as a sheriff of Kane County. Now, I can't vote for you. I don't live in Kane County anymore. But you're right on in everything you said. Also, something you said reminded me of when I was younger. My mother kind of wanted me probably to be a priest in the Catholic Church, and so I became a police officer instead. And later on in my career, I got to know and became friendly with a career priest. So we were having a conversation one day, and I said, Father, I says, we're actually doing the same work. I says, the only difference is we get your rejects. So anyway, that kind of reminded me of that little incident in my past. But I just want to wish you well, officer, and hope that you succeed in becoming a sheriff of Kane County.
Thank you very much for those kind words.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Okay. All right, guys.
Take care. James checking in. We have Cleveland Dennis on YouTube. He says, brilliant candidate. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Dennis likes what he hears so far. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Cleveland.
And we've got about 3 minutes left, and then I'm sure we're going to have you in over time over the next year. But anything you want to kind of summarize with here at the end of our interview today?
Yeah, I just want, first of all, thank you for having me today.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for coming in.
This is my first. I'll never forget this day. It's my very first radio public, platform right now, and I just want the people to know that at the end of the day, no matter what happens in this race, again, we are not legislators. We're law enforcement, and we are a brotherhood. And no matter who's running, if they are running for the good of the people, that's important. Mm-hmm. And, the people will decide who they feel is the best candidate. We're going to put our best foot forward and do our best. And that's what I intend to do. And for me, this is the honor of my life, just being here, because with everything where I grew up and my life experiences and my childhood and our poverty and all those things, everything said that I should probably have been something else. Maybe someone on the street hanging out, maybe in jail or maybe dead. Mm-hmm. But being here is already a win for me. So I just want everyone to know this is the honor of my life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lena checks in.
Yep, she says she wants to vote for you.
She says, I'm in Kane County, and I would vote for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
And so if people want to find out more about you, maybe learn where they can go to meet you and things like that in the future, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, we have our website. It's santoyoforsheriff.com, and that's the word for, not the number for, santoyoforsheriff.com. You can look me up on Facebook, Lou Santoyo for Sheriff on Facebook as well, and that's where we will have all our information. And I'd love to meet you if you're out in Kane County and you see where I'm gonna be. Show up, shake my hand, let's talk.
Sounds great. And the website one more time was?
It is santoyoforsheriff.com.
Santoyoforsheriff.com. The word for, and not the number for.
SAN.
TOYO, Santoyo.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks so much for being on with us, and
thank you.
We'll be seeing you around.
Absolutely, thank you.
Susie C., thanks for hanging in there today and helping with a great show.
We got one more.
We got one more tomorrow morning.
One more.
So let's do this tomorrow morning starting at 6. But we're going to have Joe Kuiper in, I believe, in a couple of minutes from Kuiper's Farm in Maple Park. And so you're
your neighbor.
That's right.
Yeah, over in Maple Park.
We go there every year.
Do you? Nice.
So stay tuned for that. It's 8:58 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. The rain's kind of let up. Hopefully it'll stay that way after a very rainy morning. Keep it right here on the Talk of the Town.